Welcome everyone. I'm Veemal, the CEO and co-founder of Gevme. I'm excited to be here to share with you our thoughts on the future of events marketing. These thoughts are what drove our latest round of big product updates here at Gevme. The past 2 years have been transformative in the events marketing world. I think it's fair to say that the past years have been pretty much about virtual and in some occasions hybrid as well. And now, in-person is back. In fact, I took these pictures a few weeks ago at PCMA's EduCon, held in New Orleans. It was indeed fantastic to be there in person, to learn, to network, and to have fun, and immerse in the unique culture of the city. Now, isn't that what's so unique about in-person, and why so many of us are excited about it? So, if we are to ask, what's the future of events marketing now? Is it in person, virtual, hybrid, or even metaverse? Now, hold your thought on this one, because I'm going to come back on this and tell you our take on it. But first, let's take a look at what's changed. There are now new expectations. As I mentioned, there are different formats for events that your audience is looking for and getting used to. The bar has been raised for live stream content and on-demand content. People now love broadcast TV quality production, just like the one that you're seeing here. Attending an event is now real-time optional. Content is expected to be made available on demand. Community building is big. People are keen to have an all-year-round engagement. And now more than ever, even professionals have access to a treasure trove of data and analytics. And that can pave the way to better experience personalization and uncovering of insights and event ROI and monetization opportunities. But now, in so much that we talk about how things have changed, you know what? There are some things that simply have not changed. Events are still about the 3 E's: education, engagement, and entertainment. And in some cases, they're still about creating sales opportunities as well. Now, we should simply not deny the transformation that is already ongoing. There is a risk for event marketers resisting change. Doing things the same way as the pre-COVID era may mean that you're running events that feel unconnected, impersonal, or even boring. And the risk here are unengaged audience, declining registrations, and you know what, uninterested sponsors. Now, we've worked with thousands of companies, and what we've seen is that companies that are thriving in today's world are adopting an omnichannel event strategy. But first, what is omnichannel and why should we look at it? So let me share with you a few stats and trends with you. Today, when making a purchase decision, a B2B customer goes through a whopping 10 channels first. That means that a prospective B2B customer would be liaising with a supplier over emails, meet up in person, have phone calls, check out the website, have video calls, and do Google searches. All of this before making a purchase decision. Businesses simply don't buy after just 1 or 2 touch points. Now, this data is actually from McKinsey, done as part of their global B2B survey. This helped them to come up with a pretty good insight, and they call it the rule of thirds. So what McKinsey did was to categorize channels into 3 distinct groups. Traditional interactions, that's for things like in-person meetings, direct mail. Remote human interactions, that's phone calls, video calls, emails. And thirdly, digital self-serve. They then interviewed over 3,000 B2B customers and asked them how would they typically identify and research new suppliers. And this is what they found out. That was back in August 2020. Remote human interactions were suddenly the main channels through which B2B customers engaged, 49%. Now, obviously, COVID-19 had been the main driver behind that. But you know what? What happened over the past 2 years are pointing towards potentially permanent change. In February 2021, the same survey was done. Remote human interactions were expectedly down 35%, but digital self-serve was up to 34%. And more recently, in December 2021, the numbers across the 3 categories, as you can see here, were pretty much equal. And that's the rule of thirds. What this really means is that you cannot ignore any of these 3 groups of channels. You cannot focus on only traditional interactions to grow your business. 2/3 of your customers want to be engaged remotely or even self-serve. And here's an example, Charles River. That's a pharmaceutical company that McKinsey interviewed. And that's a company that has taken an omnichannel approach to best serve their customers. They have an online products and services catalog where you can go there and access the price list in a self-serve way. They run in-depth scientific podcasts and webinars where they engage virtually to share scientific capabilities and build their credibility. They exhibit at in-person trade shows, virtual ones as well, and they participate at networking events to meet with prospect and existing customers face-to-face. Now, Charles River here looks at where their customers are, and then they make sure that they are there as well. And that's what the omnichannel strategy is all about. Omnichannel as a marketing strategy was really popularized back in 2010 in the retail world. You know what, believe it or not, there used to be a time when this was considered to be competition. In-person brick-and-mortar stores against pure online retailers. But we all know the result. It was never about online against in-person. It's always been about putting the customer at the center. In fact, the pictures that I showed you just now were actually from Sephora. Sephora has over 1,900 stores worldwide, but they invest heavily in their online shopping portal. But they do more. They have an interactive mobile app as well. They engage through videos on YouTube. They've built an online community platform. They run their own in-person event called Sephora. And they run virtual events too, big ones and small ones with limited attendees. So you know what? Back to my initial question. What's the future of events? In-person, hybrid, or metaverse? Well, this is what we think. We think it's all of the above and everything in between. It's about putting your audience at the center. If your goal is to run a close networking session, then you know what you should do only in person. If your goal is to have as much reach as possible, then do consider hybrid or even virtual. And here's what we think an omnichannel event strategy is. It's about complementing annual face-to-face events with digital experiences all around. It's about building a digitally enabled community around your events that is always on and where your audience can come for education, engagement, and entertainment. We think an omnichannel event strategy is what works in today's world because audience expectations have changed, and so has the journey an event attendee takes. Now, this is how the new event attendee journey looks like. On this chart, we're measuring the engagement level against time. An attendee today will typically join one or more micro events first after finding out about them through social, email, and other promotional channels. Then there's the registration to the main event, personalizing of agenda, doing business matching prior to the event. And during the main event itself, the attendee checks in, attends session in person or through live stream, engages through a mobile app, conducts one-on-one or even group meetings. And if there's an exhibition component to the event, the attendee visits booths, exchanges name cards, and gets scanned by visitors. And after the event, the content is made available on demand. Surveys are done, and they can even register for the next event. Now, as you can see, the new event attendee journey is a complex one. Traditionally, many of these touchpoints have been managed with different software systems. That typically comes with a slew of challenges, integration issues, reporting not being seamless. And I'm sure many of you have probably experienced that before. So today, I'm happy to introduce you to our Omnichannel Event platform. Whether you want to run in-person events, virtual or hybrid, you just need one platform. The Gevme Omnichannel platform is effectively a suite of tightly integrated apps that help you grow your audience, engage with them, and even monetize. You grow your audience through the different built-in apps that we provide: a robust registration and ticketing system, event website builder, and integrated email marketing that allows you to reach out to thousands of contacts easily. We provide apps that allows you to engage your audience. We have a best-in-class virtual event builder that comes with an extensive set of themes that you can just use out of the box. In fact, I'm excited with the marketplace that we have recently launched. You can browse and discover themes and customize them to cater for your unique digital experiences. With Gevme, you can also find plenty of ways to monetize your events. We provide a sponsor and exhibitor management app where you can create custom packages that can be sold. Exhibitors get access to a self-serve portal for them to manage their content, ads, and leads. Gevme is today trusted by thousands of organizations, from life science, pharma, tech, media, finance, education, government, and more. Last year, we powered over 17,000 events and had over 1 million attendees engaged on our platform. Our latest product release is actually a culmination of all the learnings that we've had with our customers. We know how important security and data is. As such, we have the relevant certifications in place to give you the peace of mind that we provide the best-in-class security and privacy laws compliance. And now, before wrapping up, I'd like to share with you the story of Web in Travel, or WIT for short. That's a media customer of ours that has successfully adopted an omnichannel event strategy. WIT actually run a series of micro events leading to the main events. They run a total of 6 of them. And these micro events were not just virtual, but physical and hybrid in some cases. The micro event helped forge the community and provided engagement opportunities at specific points in time throughout the year. The content of each micro event was then made available on demand, and this generated traffic all year round. It all then built up to the main conference, a paid hybrid events. People were excited to finally meet up in person after a series of prior digital engagements. Those who could not join or would not join in person could actually join virtually to watch the live stream, chat with each other, and post questions online. The main event itself was the highest engagement activity of the year. The micro events did not cannibalize in any way what the main event led up to, but instead helped forge the engaged community. And that's the omnichannel event strategy at work. And with this, I'd like to welcome you to the omnichannel event revolution. Or should I say evolution? Thank you.